Hey, boys and girls, this book is called Animals in Danger, Florida Manatee. Florida Manatee by Rod Theodorou. This is the table of contents, and the table of contents is an important feature of nonfiction text because it tells you the chapters or the subjects that are going to be mentioned in the book and what pages those chapters or subjects start on. So if you're only looking for specific information, you can use your table of contents to get there. Another important feature of nonfiction text are pictures or diagrams in the text. These are pictures, and they have captions next to the pictures that tell you what's in the picture. So animals in danger: giant panda, blue whale, mountain gorilla. All over the world, more than 10,000 animal species are in danger. Some are in danger because their homes are being destroyed. Many are in danger because people hunt them. This book is about Florida manatees and why they are endangered. Unless people learn to protect them, Florida manatees will become extinct. We will only be able to find out about them from books like this. What is a manatee? Manatees are large swimming mammals. There are 4 kinds of manatee. These kinds are the Amazonian, West African, Antillean, and Florida manatee. Amazonian manatees, like the one in this picture, are the smallest. They grow as long as a soccer goal is tall. Other manatees are larger. Some grow to be as long as a minivan. What do manatees look like? Manatees are dark gray and wrinkly with very little hair. They have a narrow tail that they move up and down to swim. Manatees have 2 small flippers on their upper body. They use these to help them eat and steer while they swim. They have nails like fingernails at the end of each flipper. Oh, I see them. Here's a map, another important feature of nonfiction text, and it has labels inside the map showing you where manatees live. Manatees live in warm tropical waters. The Florida manatee lives mainly around the Florida coast of North America. Manatees live in rivers, canals, oceans, and other places that are full of water plants. They can live in both freshwater rivers and saltwater oceans, as long as the water is warm. What do manatees eat? Manatees are herbivores. They eat plants that grow underwater or near water. They use their front flippers and large lips to hold and eat the plants. They eat for 6 to 8 hours each day. Manatees eat turtle grass, mangrove leaves, and many other water plants. Sometimes the water the manatees are in is too salty, and they have to find fresh water to drink. Manatee babies. Male and female manatees come together to mate in spring. About 12 months later, the female gives birth to one baby called a calf. The calf stays close to its mother most of the time. It has to go to the surface to breathe, and it makes sound so that its mother always knows where it is. Caring for calves. Calves drink their mother's milk underwater, and after a few weeks, they begin to eat plants with the milk. They will keep drinking their mother's milk until they are 1 year old. Calves stay with their mothers for up to 2 years. They learn how to find food and warm places to rest or hide. Manatees can live from 60 to 70 years. Unusual manatee facts. Scientists once thought that manatees were related to walruses. This is because they look a little like walruses. We now know that they are more closely related to elephants and aardvarks. Manatees can hold their breath and stay underwater for 30 minutes. They usually only stay underwater for 2 or 3 minutes. How many Florida manatees are there? It's very difficult to find out how many manatees are alive in the world today. We do know there are far fewer than there were 100 years ago. Scientists think that there are only about 2,000 Florida manatees left. All types of manatees are endangered species. Why are Florida manatees in danger? Florida manatees are very slow swimmers. They are hard to see in the water, and many are injured and killed by motorboats and ships every year. Manatees sometimes swim into lock gates and get trapped and crushed. Some people hunt manatees for food or as a sport. Manatee hunting is against the law in most countries where manatees live. Florida manatees need to live in warm water. A sudden harsh winter can turn the water cold and kill many manatees. There has been a lot of building in manatee habitats, and the manatee is losing its food supply and its home. How is the Florida manatee being helped? Manatees are protected by law. In Florida, there are laws so people can't drive motorboats too fast in manatee areas. Conservation groups raise money to buy land to use for manatee reserves. Conservation groups also try to stop the building in manatee areas. Conservation workers check on the manatees regularly to make sure that they are healthy. Okay, here is a diagram and a graph talking about Florida manatee fact file, number of manatees alive. And it looks like in 1900, there were 75,000 manatees, and now there's less than 1,400. And over here, it talks about world danger table, giant panda. Okay, number that may have been alive 100 years ago, 65,000. Today, there's only 650. The Bengal tiger, there was 100 years ago, 100,000. Now there's only 4,500. The blue whale, 100 years ago, there was 335,000. Now there's only 4,000. The black rhino, 100 years ago, there was 1 million. Now there's only 2,000. And the mountain gorilla, 100 years ago, there was 85,000. Now there's only 500. There are thousands of other animals in the world that are in danger of becoming extinct. This table shows of these animals. How can you help the Florida manatee? So here's some ideas that you can do if you want to help raise money or send it to these organizations. More books to read. This is your glossary. The glossary tells you important words that are in the book, and next to it, it gives you the definition of what that word means. The glossary is a very important feature of a nonfiction text. And then right here in the index, it's Amazonian manatees is mentioned on page 6 and 7. Flippers is mentioned on page 9 and 12. So the index tells you important words that are mentioned in the book and what pages they're on. Florida manatee. I hope you loved it.